which is the LSU area. Before we get started, I'm going to hand out a little bribe, if bribes are allowed. If they're not, it's not a bribe. To the judges, we got cupcakes right over here. And while I do that, you guys can watch this. Alright guys, so I'd like to tell you a little bit about how Frosted got started. About a year and a half ago, I was teaching tennis to a law professor at LSU, and I would always throw out my crazy entrepreneurship ideas because I'm an entrepreneurship major. And she finally liked one. She liked Frosted Cupcakes. I found the perfect location in the LSU area, I drew up a business plan, and she wanted to invest with me. So we went further from there, and things took off. This is a picture of us on our first day. In our store, as you can kind of tell, we use an iPad cash register, so we email receipts, we text receipts. Customers can come in and keep their names tracked, so whenever they get a punch card, all they got to do is give us their phone number or email. And it's all digital. Everything's very high-tech. When you walk in, our menu board at the top is just a glass panel that we project our menu onto. So everything's high-tech in our store. And we've had a great first year. We did $165,000 in sales. We sold 36,000 cupcakes. And we did no advertising. So things went pretty well for our first year. Beneath that, we have a great management team we've set up. And this has been operating for about 6 months perfectly. I'm at the top, and my partner Andy, she kind of handles the financials. I'll run the day-to-day operations of Frosted. And underneath me is Andy, my manager, and she runs our bakers and our workers in the store. And things really took off from there. Things have been going great. As you can see, these are just some of the pictures of the pretty cupcakes that we've done. We've done a few weddings. We're expanding our market. We're doing birthday parties, events. Things have been great. So, one of our most important things that we've done is we've gotten great partners. Let's start with Dippin' Dots. Nowhere in Baton Rouge can you find Dippin' Dots except at Frosted Cupcakes. Now, you guys might not know what Dippin' Dots is, but the 90s kids, people that were born in the 90s, the younger generation, we love Dippin' Dots. We know what Dippin' Dots are, trust me. About 1/3 of our sales for our first year were Dippin' Dots. So we have a monopoly on that market there, and that's huge. In addition to that, we found the lowest rate suppliers. So even in the months whenever school's out of session and we're kind of not making as much money, we're operating at such low cost that we're still profitable. So how big is the market for cupcakes? About 10 years ago is when the gourmet cupcake market really took off. And that was when Carrie from Sex and the City ate a cupcake from Magnolia Bakery. And when it just kind of took off from there. Women loved it, and cupcake stores started popping up everywhere. And these are just a few of the many companies that have spawned across the United States. It's a huge market, and in Baton Rouge specifically, let's take a look at Baton Rouge. These are the players. The red dot is where we are, located in the LSU area, closest to the LSU students, our target market. The other two are our competition, Sweet Wishes and Cupcake Tour. So let's take a look at our competition. Competition-wise, we are at the top. We have an 82% rating on Urban Spoon. Now, Urban Spoon is something that I use every time I go eat. If I'm going to go eat somewhere, I want to go to the best steakhouse. I want to go to the best cupcake place. I use Urban Spoon or Yelp, and we are the top-rated cupcake place in town. That's huge. In addition to that, social media. Things are going great. We have 1,156 plus counting everyday followers on Facebook. We have 1,391 Twitter followers. Social media has been huge for us. Like I said, we did no advertising. So the way we got people into the door that first day we gave away free cupcakes. And the only way people heard about it is by telling them on Facebook and Twitter. And we were crazy that first day. Things went great. And people have been coming into the door ever since. So if things are going so good, what's the problem? Or basically, why am I here? And that's one word. I want to go mobile. I want to do something that other cupcake places have done successfully in other areas, but no one has done here in Baton Rouge. And that is a cupcake truck. They have tons of them everywhere. They have 5 or 6 in New Orleans. They're doing very well. They have a ton of them in Houston. You know, it's a very viable market. Let's actually take a look at a sample market. Here's a screenshot of Houston on a particular day. These are cupcake trucks in a particular area of Houston. That's how many they were. Just running around at that time. Now let's throw up the same thing for Baton Rouge. Throw up all the cupcake trucks. That's right, there's 0. So we have 0 competitors. So we would be the first one into the market, already have a storefront, so everything would just be just additional sales to our store. Now, are trucks even a viable option in Baton Rouge? I don't know, let's ask the other 15 trucks that are already running. Famous ones like Taco de Paco, I think it's actually a student-started organization. Curbside, you know, very popular ones. And our business model, we would just go and follow these trucks. Why not have a cupcake with your taco? Another great thing we can do with the truck, you know, tailgating, fairs, everything. There's so much potential for this. Making our products mobile and getting it out there to a broader market is huge. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to go in 2 directions to make this mobile. This is something that made national news whenever another company did it. It was huge. So here's an article from Huffington Post. Sprinkles cupcake vending machine coming to Georgetown. So, y'all might have heard about this. It was all over the news. It's a very cool thing. They made a cupcake vending machine attached to their stores that the customers can come at any hour, 24 hours a day, and get a fresh cupcake. And they would just reload it fresh every morning. I want to do this, just scratch out that and add frosted in Baton Rouge. I want to bring a cupcake vending machine here to Baton Rouge. And where better to start it than right here on LSU's campus. So I actually want to do the very first self-contained gourmet cupcake vending machine. Not one that's attached to our storefront. And I want to start it by putting it in the Union or anywhere at LSU's campus. Progress from there, we can put it into malls, anywhere. It could be huge for us. And maybe make national news, you never know. So now let's look at some numbers. These are our projected numbers for our store for year 2. So things are projecting pretty well. And the kind of explanation of these numbers is here. Our operating expenses are about $8,000 a month. We sold 36,000 cupcakes in year 1, and our average sales are $450 a day. So that's our storefront. And the great thing about these 2 mobile options is that it would be the only addition to this. So in summary, I want to ask you 2 things. I would like to start a cupcake truck. It will look very similar to this. We already have a vendor that's ready to build it out, outfit it for us, make it ready to go. And then a custom vending machine that will serve gourmet cupcakes. The prices for both these things, $12,000 and $3,000. So I'm asking $15,000 to fund this. So with that, projected numbers is additional sales. Worst case scenario, $10,000 additional. Projected $47,000, and best case scenario, $80,000. And my name is Kyle Anderman. Thank you very much. That's Frosted Cupcakes.
Great presentation, Kyle. I thought your flow was excellent.
Thank you.
What do you do in January when it's freezing cold outside?
You know, people still come in January. It's actually one of our busier months for cupcakes. Dippin' Dot sales kind of dropped a little bit in January because it's cold. But sales through January are actually some of our higher numbers.
Do you plan to take this outside of Baton Rouge?
Oh, absolutely. So see, once we start with the market here, we can kind of dominate the Baton Rouge area. I want to then expand even further, take over the Louisiana market, maybe even further, you know.
So you want to start a franchise?
That's the ideal goal, yeah. That's the hope.
Okay, great.
How are you going to make sure that the cupcakes are so fresh? You said in the vending machines every day. So how are you going to?
We would come and restock the vending machine every morning. We have one of my employees come and do that, just like they did at Sprinklers. We would bring them in fresh, and they'd be in airtight sealed little plastic containers. The vending machine would dispense to you. So,
And the other one, as Thomas mentioned, during the winter times, however many little short ones we may have, are you going to have coffee?
yes, we do have coffee. And actually, winter times are not our slowest sales months. Our slowest sales months are in the summer when LSU leaves. Our 90% of our market is LSU students. So whenever they leave, is really when we kind of lose our numbers. Wintertime, we do well so far, at least in the first year.
And how are you going to keep the monopoly on the Dippin' Dots?
Well, we have a close relationship with Lady that supplies us the Dippin' Dots. We can't keep the monopoly, so if another company did want to come in and try to put it into their store, they'd have a tough time finding my vendor, but if they did, they'd absolutely talk to them, work out a deal with it. But as of right now, we're the only people in town that serve Dippin' Dots.
Thanks.
No problem.
So I can start up a cupcake company tomorrow, but what happens to you? What are your plans? You got to just start creating fans as fast as possible. It's a first market thing for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, eventually I'm sure we could probably make enough funds to do this on our own 3, 4, 5 years down the line. But if we had the money now, first player to the market, getting there before everybody else, keeping the New Orleans trucks away from Baton Rouge.
Right.
That's first mover's advantage.
First mover thing for you. Okay, great. That's a good presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm the guy that's supposed to ask the questions about the intellectual property. So, what's the secret sauce?
Love and magic.
I assume your recipe's good, but none of us are going to.
Oh, you can tell
Stevie
me
cheated.
one right there.
Stevie cheated. He can't vote now. So you have a great recipe.
Yeah, I would say so. Try it. Okay, it's right there.
So, really, you are first to market, and one of the things and you're talking about franchising, which is interesting also. One of the things that you're going to find if you're first to market is that your brand has to be established very strongly. One of the weaknesses I see in your brand is you have a very descriptive name. It's going to be hard to hold that name unless you use it for a long, long time. So one thing I would want you to consider if I were investing is to look at some added name, some other brand that's more unique than something that's very, very descriptive. Then that's part of what you can establish, what you can sell to others, and particularly if you franchise, because if you franchise, that is what your license is, it's your brand. And the last question, that was more of a comment, the last question is, I'm looking at your numbers, and I see salary, and if I'm reading this right, $27,600 for the entire year. That seems awful low to me, and if I'm an investor, I'm concerned about that.
Absolutely. We learned in business class that most businesses don't profit for the first 3 to 5 years. The fact that we actually did turn a profit our first year, it's pretty good. It's not amazing, it's not wonderful, but we did turn a profit. So you're right, it's low. That's why we don't have the ability to just throw some money at this. So we'd already be out there doing it. So,
how are you keeping it so low? I guess is my question.
How are we keeping?
How are you keeping your salary so low?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, you have part-time people?
Oh yeah, we have all part-time people. That's right. We hire only part-time employees. That's why that's so low.
Do you have one of those part-time people is going to drive the truck, right?
That's right.
And check on the vending machine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Probably our manager, Andy.
Thanks. Great presentation.
Thank you.
How many different varieties of cupcakes do y'all have?
It's really cool the way we have our menu set up. We have 8 signature flavors that we serve every day, and then we'll have 1 designer flavor that we'll feature every day. So we get a new flavor for every single day that you come in, and then we'll additionally have cake pops and cookie pies sometimes as well. So we have a large kind of variety of different kind of things we have, and also things that you can always expect to come and get from us.
Great presentation.
Thank you guys.